Welcome back to the How to Use Photoshop Actions course. This is the 5th lesson, and this lesson is the chaining lesson. So what is chaining? Well, chaining is something that we do with our actions, and it's really important that you do as well, whether you're using our actions or somebody else's. Some actions from other sites might not be able to do this because of the way they were built. Ours chain together quite well as far as that goes. We've even built our sets to be used in that way. So chaining is when you take one action, you click it, it applies the effect, then you click another action and it applies that effect over the top of the original effect. So as a good example, we'll use our example image in Photoshop, and what we're going to do is we're going to go down and we're just going to take a light leak effect. Okay, so this is creating a nice light leak on the side, but what we might want to do on top of that is then take a simple black and white filter. So you've still got the light source, but you've taken away the color from the image, and that has combined that together. Of course you can do different things. You can obviously put in like a red haze, and then you can do a light leak sort of on the side of that there. It's made it very exposed. You could also do a top light. So you can combine all of these actions together quite seamlessly. And of course there are other things you can do as well. You can move them, so you can put that, you can take like your red haze and you can put it above the bottom light one. So you can do all kinds of things with these, and it can change the composition of the image quite a bit when you do that. Equally, you can take that red haze and say, okay, well that effect's nice, but it's not quite strong enough. So you're going to click it again and it will just apply the same effect twice. So that's chaining, basically, is taking multiple actions, applying them at once, and seeing if you can create the image that you want with that. And that's one of the key things that's different about our actions, is that with a lot of actions you just can't chain them together. They weren't built properly to allow that to happen. And when you buy a pack of actions from another site or download some free ones from somewhere, generally each action is one effect, whereas when you chain actions together, if you've got like 100 actions, and then that's like 100 times 100 times 100 times 100, on and on and on, you have infinite amounts of images you can make. So when you're making images, chaining actions together, in reality you're probably making an effect that nobody else has ever used before, especially the more complex they get. So it's really cool, and it definitely helps with your photo editing, especially once you have an idea of what you're actually trying to make. It's fun to experiment and play around with them, but equally, if you say to yourself, okay, well, I want to make this image, I want to sharpen my image, you could use a sharpen effect. Then you could add in like a golden hour effect or brighten it up. You could do any one of those things and combine those together. So we've tried to, like in our case, lay out our actions in a way that makes sense to chain them together. With other actions out there, you might need to kind of come up with your own idea of how you should use those together after playing around with them for a little while. So that's chaining, and hopefully you found it quite enlightening, because a lot of people that we talked to, said, I never even thought of using them together, and it's quite a cool thing to do. But I think that's about it, and that's about it for this mini course as well. We really just wanted to empower you, regardless of what actions you're using, to go out there and improve what you're creating with them. So if you were using actions by ourselves or someone else, layer masks and the blending effects and using different brushes and trying to chain them together is actually going to improve your output, improve your photo editing. And it can also make it quicker as well, because you spend less time trying to find that perfect action when you realize, actually, I can just put a layer mask on and take away that effect from the hair because I don't want it on the hair, or take it away from the light source because it's making the light source look funny. So that's basically all you need to know about using Photoshop Actions. they're really simple. That's one of the reasons why they're so great. They empower you and anyone really to get into Photoshop and start using it with very little knowledge, but it also helps you learn very quickly as well, I find, and that's why this course was important to us to do, for not just for our members but for everyone in general. There's going to be one more video after this. It's like a bit of a conclusion video, wrapping up and just really just explaining what our actions are. So if you're interested in our actions, check out that video and we'll talk a little bit more about them. But if you've already got your actions, then hopefully this course has given you a little bit of an idea of what to go and do next. It's been a pleasure, and thank you for watching.